it is the one you're progressing with. But if I ever play against a Crag, I want the Forsburn one. Like that could be the thought process. And that's worth exploring in a game that is very tightly centered around character unique attributes.
That makes sense.
Work.
Having like a break glass in case of emergency type.
Dog in the
Yeah.
background, but I'm
Yeah,
happy to hear he's excited. I'm happy to hear from him.
I mean, look, hey, you watching Rivals on a Monday night? Who wouldn't be? Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you for very much. The dog's name is Bogey, in case you were wondering.
hi
So
Bogey.
as we figure out the stage list, uh, or the stage selection, I should say, I'm genuinely curious what he is barking at. But we are going to go to Jules Vale. Going to be fighting like cats and dogs out here, and I think I know which side Bogey is on in this instance. But we'll see what the matchup says.
Yeah, I mean, Forz is technically not a dog, but he's more dog than Clairen.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, we're
That's
getting to the early start though on the side of Nard, who comes in as the favorite by seed, but we've seen take down one Clairen with this Forsburn, looks to try and take down another. Experience in a matchup always plays heavy dividends, but a massive wave dash down air, utilizing this platform pretty magnificently, covering a lot of space, but Muttnut's coverage with the cane is even better, going for the turnaround instead just to cover more space with back air, grabbing ledge, no resources. Maybe he was trying to wait as long as possible to get clone back and just waited a little too long.
so we are going to see a pretty good start for Nard, and it should be expected winning, I believe, 3 of the last 4 fusions that they have entered, and is going to go out to the edges of Jules Vale in order to try to take down Muttnut, but is not going to succeed in that. Is piling on quite a bit of damage and is doing a pretty good job leveraging the range as well, and the tippers that you are able to get if you are Nard. It's nothing short of impressive, the consistency with which Nard is able to do so.
Yeah, that was a super nice pickup, super nice recognition, going for sour down tilt into tipper jab, and in order to get the dash forward strong. Of course, Mutt able to pick things up after Super Clone activated, and now we see the full potential of Super Clone come in just for a little bit. 34% isn't nothing, but you wish you could have taken that a little further off the platform. That was such a prime position to have two of your character out and about. Still a nice recovery from Muttnut, who is able to find a reverse back air, get the clone started. Another back air comes down after the up tilt, keeping the finishers pretty calm and consistent. Not trying to find any resets yet, not looking for any down air follow-ups to try and go for any sort of platform tech chases after. Instead, we're just keeping things in back air and go mode. Keep your movement crisp and know that win condition revolves around that one button. Ooh.
Nard was kind of fishing for that grab for a little bit. Muttnut certainly realizing that, but then again, just because just because you know it's coming doesn't mean that you can stop it. Nard is more than capable of trying to grab and getting Muttnut out of the shield. Seems to be doing so to relatively decent effect. That is basically kill range if you are able to get that tipper, which we know Nard is able to do rather consistently. Looking for it right there with that drift back, but again, the strong in the middle of the stage takes it to one stock apiece. Certainly not a foregone conclusion. Muttnut will try to prove as such, but when you're able to dash back and utilize that ground speed that Clairen has, you're not exactly in a bad spot, are you? Certainly, you're in a bad spot if you're Muttnut. You're at the tip of Nard's sword, and that is going to be game number 1.
Yeah, that's the game plan that is honestly the most threatening part about Clairen, which she lacks in some sort of stray hit. I can't even say she lacks in any sort of like confirm game because she has so many like sour to tipper confirms that can't really be bad. But when you get used to just blocking and playing out of Clairen's range a ton and like trying to play this in and out game where her most common ground moves are down tilt and jab, and then she mixes in a totally complete throw game with up throw as a combo throw and then forward and back throw as an ever-present 50-50. That's where Clairen can be the most frustrating, where just there's no right answer if the Clairen is playing on point enough. And exactly what Nard is trying to show off right now is being totally on point with every single offensive opening. However, in an even better recovery route gets Muttnut back into this game percentage wise. We're starting to poke at each other to see who's able to take that first stock. An excellent teleport finds the forward air and reverse back air from Muttnut. Just needs to try and close out the stock. Gets a little bit too overzealous with that cape, and we're finding ourselves back at neutral.
And Muttnut
Oh,
trying to close down space on Nard. You can do so easily with that sword and that ground speed. Muttnut trying to find a way to take that away from Clairen, and one way to do it is trying to leverage the space that you are able to create with the daggers that you have yourself, but also the trickery on the ground. We're seeing a lot of smoke and mirrors in more ways than one, as Muttnut going to be taken off of the ledge. No way to recover. Nard is going to close that out. And yeah, you can only fool him so many times. We have seen that play before, and the clone does not fool Nard. May have fooled me, but not like I'll ever admit to it.
I mean,
Good
there was a
counter strike.
yeah, you get the crouch cancel down strong in order to close things up. Sour dash attack not going to cement any sort of opening on defensive play like that. What I have been enjoying from Nard is his just ability to call out clone, ability to call out the clone misdirection in particular. You saw it right there in that edge guard. He was fully aware of the pivot between the teleport to smoke and the clone spawn because the clone immediately jumps. So you cover smoke, you know the teleport's coming, and you turn that into a stock by dwindling those resources because if you hit Forsburn, the clone also disappears unless it's super clone. Like these are the type of resource tracking that you can really do against Forsburn that is difficult, but if you're able to really track it down, then that recovery can get edge guarded to hell and back.
Now, as we see the Claren again putting
Double
the
there.
absolute stunner on Muttnut, who is looking for an answer. Nard is trying to make it impossible to find one. Still able to get the damage on it. It's not like Muttnut's going down without a fight, but then again, these are looking more and more like parting shots the more I see what Nard is able to do. Muttnut trying to maybe get a little bit of that reverse 3-0 action like you're able to find in game
Yep.
number 2 against their opponent last round. Uda, Nard will have none of it. Takes it with
You
a
won't get
clean
in